The trees beckoned you. Somewhere, deep within these woods, you hoped epiphanies would be there for you to find. Dying sunlight fractured through the leaves of trees. It wouldn't be long before this world descended into darkness. You walked forward cautiously, unsure of what lied within the forest. The smell of earth lingered in the air, along with the sounds of your own breath and heartbeat. This was a place that invited you to explore. It was not an evil or dark place. It felt neutral, waiting for you to act so it could react to you. The woods were vast, yet you never saw any other beings. The light from the sky formed shadows upon the ground, casting it in a soft glow. You didn't know exactly where you were, but you wanted to find what the trees were drawing you towards. The only way you could do that was by following the path, and so you did. As soon as you had made it quite a distance pacing through the forest, a strange feeling washed over you, and a heavy sensation filled your heart. The temperature dropped, catching you off guard, your lungs filling sharply with the cold air. The green of the woods disappeared with each passing moment, the sunlight taking all the colours away with it. The atmosphere around you, it flickered almost. The wind whipped at your clothes. Your shirt and trousers warped into layers upon layers of soft fabric, cotton and beige, blooming out like a cloud. Then the garments retracted to your body. Your shirt weighed heavy on your chest, its sleeves like a brushstroke trickling past your elbows, elongating to defend against the cooler temperature of the shaded forest. The cuffs were now detailed with a geometrical design. The same pattern could be found on the rim of your collar. Your boots felt sturdier, thicker. The scarf that had sat precariously around your shoulders no longer threatened to slip down your frame. Shaking it out, a mass of fabric tumbled down your back. What was once a simple scarf transformed into a thick, hooded cloak. You felt warmer, more protected even. Something was watching out for you. Thankful in some respects and weirded out in others, you adjusted your cuffs, fixed the cloak to cover your chest, and tried not to think about your morphing clothes too much. The breeze scurried across the forest floor from quite a distance away, moving carefully through the wood, following the discernible path. You pulled the hood over your head and let yourself become completely lost in the expanse of nature, and to stumble into whatever you were supposed to find. A familiar sound greeted you. It was not the laughter you had heard before, but it twinkled all the same. Rain. Faint spots descended upon your hands and cheeks. The rain came down in sheets, pelting the ground and leaving a thin layer of muddy water everywhere. A storm was brewing. So that was why your clothes miraculously changed. They were weather-triggered clothes. Was it magic? If so, how did you acquire magical clothes? This weather would have been a beautiful scene to witness from the warmth of a cosy window seat. But it was no good use standing there and getting completely sopping wet. The ground became muddy beneath your feet as you scurried through the woods, keeping to the light that seeped through the trees. The rain was torrential, unforgiving with the weight of its water crashing down on you. It drenched everything it touched and brought a teeth-chattering chill to the air. What was all of this for, you asked yourself? Were you meant to be following the laughter, the path, or just until you floundered into someone who could help you find your way? You thought about Clear Eyes. Why was she so insistent on you entering the forest? She said it was about the trees and what they wanted. But what was their reason for their demands? If there was a reason, you doubt you would have been told about it. Another gush of wind slammed straight through you. Your hands were freezing. You worried if you had been sent into the woods to get lost and never return home. Wait, just there, did you see it? Without warning, a coloured orb emerged from your peripheral vision. Then another, and then several more. It was like you had stumbled into their nest. A strange phenomenon floating all around you. These things resembled glowing thistledowns, moving in the air like gentle jellyfish. You didn't know how these things could be real. There was no sound emanating from them. They surrounded you in the middle of the strange forest. Your eyes widened as these things flew up into the air. You watched with an almost frightened fascination. They were not a plant at all, but some kind of creature. It was hard to tell exactly what they were. You almost jumped out of your skin when they began to materialize through your head. Oh God, the noise! Your brain felt fuzzy, like you had suffered an allergic reaction across your frontal lobe. But the sensation instantly disappeared. They seemed to be in a different time and place altogether, as if there were no trees or land whatsoever. Emerging from the ground, from the sky, and even through your chest. The rain affected them though, their light blinking when a raindrop collided with them. They were incomprehensible. Every one of them shone brightly before you, so you couldn't even make out anything about their structure, only the eerie colours they pulsed. They did not look dangerous, though in fact they synced together to give a friendly fuchsia colour the moment you thought them as being dangerous. Maybe they were this world's version of fireflies? If so, they were harmless then. You didn't pay them any mind when they started following you. as soon as you made your way through the woods. You just kept walking. The rain fell heavier now, almost to the point where waves of water were all you could see. The air smelt damp and crisp all at once. Your body gave a small shudder under your hooded cloak. This cloak seemed to keep you miraculously dry, but it did not keep the cold at bay. The wind whipped you again, pushing you down the path. Even now the trees were beginning to look like they would drown if the torrents didn't stop. You looked up through the branches of the trees and into the sky. It was already dark. The night was falling in earnest quickly. You hurried along. The glowing thistledowns quivered to keep up with you, splitting and re-emerging amidst the falling water, while 2 lit the way through the darkened forest. 3 collected and swirled over your left arm, trying to pull you along, as if such a thing was possible for them. Every few rotations of your arm, an all-embodying shiver broke across your skin and ticked its way down your spine. That ticklish touch caused you to unconsciously elevate your arm up towards the trees that ushered you along the forest floor. Those fingertips of yours brushed their sharp, pointed bark. Though you thought it to be your imagination, every tree you touched, a phrase sank into your intuitive mind. Not yet. Not quite. A little further. Almost there. There you go. And with that final message, the soft, shimmering thistledowns dispersed. But not before they gave you a chance to gaze at the final tree. It was a towering tree, thick branches proudly adorning its crown of leaves. And at its roots, its trunk was hollowed out, yet it undeniably welcomed you as a place of shelter. You got down on your hands and knees and crawled into the little pocket of dryness. You were glad the space was just big enough for you to fit inside. With your back leaning to the trunk, you sat on top of the tree roots, brought your knees up to your chest. The tips of your toes were numbing to the cold, but thankfully the rain had not seeped in. You felt warm enough. The shelter of the tree kept the harsh wind and heavy rain away. The gentle thumping of raindrops on bark took you back to your childhood, hiding from the rain under trees that were ginormous compared to you. The wet scent of nature drifting you between these worlds. If it could take you back, what would you say to yourself? A small ache knotted in your stomach. Hunger arrived after trekking through this wet, dark terrain. The only thing you could do was wait it out until the storm had passed and go in search of food. What was there left to do but to cup your hand and drink the rain? Your breathing slowed, your heart settled into a quiet hum. You took a moment to rest, collect your thoughts, and listen to the raindrops pattering off the tree's canopy. Hi everyone, thank you for watching my video. I hope it was strange and autumnal enough for you. I'm hoping to write a small creepypasta for Halloween, so that should be coming out just before Halloween, before the end of October. I hope you're all doing well. Please like, share and subscribe. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.